Are you gonna film this shit? I'm gonna think your shit's about to get real, Brent.
So how's your tour going so far?
It's good. This is going to be the fourth show, and everybody's really nice, really welcoming, you know, letting us stay at their houses, feeding us, taking care of us, so it's really awesome. One of the guys that were on tour, who shall remain nameless, wanted to hurt a feline because the feline pissed on him, basically, yes. He got peed on. He got peed on by a cat, so.
So how did y'all come up with the band name?
It was a joke. It was a joke. We were watching a Dashboard. I was watching a Dashboard confessional video, and they ripped off the ACDC logo for D Lightning Bolt C. And I was like, well, power violence bands name themselves, you know, Charles Bronson, Sylvester Stallone. Well, not then, but you know, Charles Bronson, Sylvester Stallone. They name themselves after actors. They name themselves, you know, dumb things all the time. Why can't we just name ourselves after a band that already exists? Screw it, you know. And then we just kind of originally it was just whatever we wanted to be. Like it would be all children deserve cookies, all cows die cruelly, all Christians deserve crucifixion. But somebody wrote it out on a flyer and they said, oh, it's Antichrist Demon Corps. So it just kind of stuck. People knew us because that was the first flyer, so they kind of associated with that name forever.
Was it always a plan to be like a power band, right for that? Or?
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, originally it was like half, you know, well, all of us were into hip hop, all of us were into metal, some more than others. But it was just kind of, it made sense, you know, because we grew up with, you know, Spaz, we grew up with Plutocracy, we grew up with, you know, Charles Bronson and all that sort of stuff. So it kind of just made sense to play that style. And especially because when we started it, nobody in our area did that. And our area basically spawned that. Like Man as a Bastard was from Claremont, Infest is from, you know, Santa Clarita, San Fernando Valley. So all over SoCal, it was kind of like, well, why is nobody doing this? Everybody was just doing street punk, which was cool, but we liked heavier, more aggressive music, so we went with that.
So I know you guys, which a lot of people here today at the show, really like value that whole ideals of DIY and the whole scene that it all, you know, entails.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you? How's it influenced your guys' music?
The other day I read a quote and it was like Ian MacKaye from Minor Threat said, punk is where you come together to exchange ideas without money being involved. And I think that's what it is. You know, unfortunately, you live in a society where you need money to survive. You adapt. You know, basically DIY is, you don't want a record label to control what you're doing, but if one of your friends is, you know, does a record label, you let him put it out because it's not a friend. All our t-shirts, all our merchandise, I make. You know, that's what I do for a living. DIY is just that, you know, it's just you get your friends to make flyers, you get your friends to play shows with you, you set up shows in houses and basements, in you know, comic book stores, wherever you can. And you try to be apart from society as much as possible. You know? I think that's what it is. It's just living your life to your ideals.
Is there anything you feel you brought to the table or hope you brought to the table in the DIY community?
I mean, we get a lot of shit for the amount of merch that we make and the dumb merch that we make. But really, that's because, I mean, I have a shop. I want to do something different, and I think, well, this band, like Capitalist Casualties, made skateboards. It's like, we want to make skateboards, let's do it. did. You know, municipal waste makes hats, let's make hats. I look at bands that I admire and I think, well, that's kind of cool. Nobody does that. I want to do that. And hopefully that kind of pushes people to be like, well, punk doesn't need to be just black and white. Punk doesn't need to just be one thing. It can be whatever you want it to be. If you want to make frisbees, make frisbees. If you want to make whatever, make it. You know, like if you want to make an album that's just noise, make noise. That's punk is mentality. Punk is that. But at the same time, I think there was somebody that I forget her name. There was an interview and they asked her. She had been writing music and being in punk bands since she was 12 years old, but she always thought to herself, like, well, this isn't that punk. You know, like, it's not Sid Vicious, it's not this, it's not that. And finally she just said, that's not really punk, to kind of live up to punk standards. Like, if we're trying to destroy standards, why are we living up to you know, this community standards? So punk to me is just make your own standards. Live your life however you want to. And if somebody gives you shit for it, screw it. You know, like that's what punk is. It's against authority. Yeah. So that's what I think.
Playing tonight, you know. So, is everyone in the band straight edge, or is that more just like a, you know, something that's
No, I'm the only guy that's straight edge and being in the band. But everybody in the band, like, you know, is supportive of it, of at least the positive aspects of those ideas. But we're not pushing it on. You know, it's for me. I don't judge them. They don't judge me. We support each other. When we started, we kind of were around. Like the scene was sort of very apathetic, and they kind of pushed. Like we would see little kids, 8, 9, 10 years old, being forced to drink, you know, alcohol, 40s in backyards, and we thought that was kind of messed up. You know, and everybody kind of thought it was funny. It's like, oh, it's punk. And I'm like, no, that's just wrong. Me personally, like, I view straight edge as more political. Like, I don't want to support, you know, domestic violence or sexism or you know, people exploiting other people or targeting, you know, racial targeting, like in advertisement and messing up communities and stuff like that. And the guys understand that, like, you know, and they let me kind of do that and talk about that and push that. So, like, they don't mind. As long as you're a good person and you kind of understand why you are the way you are, I'm totally cool with it.
As far as your influences musically, what are some of your influences?
Me personally, I just like hardcore punk, bandana thrash type stuff, Latino hardcore. I grew up in LA. The LA scene was like Lifesaw, but I got to go out of the, you know, you grow up listening to Screw Those Fighting Necks, Total Fury from Japan, Jelly Roll Rockheads, Live, Flash Gordon, just fast, fun, aggressive hardcore punk. Power Lines I also like always loved, but I think me personally, that's kind of what I related to more because they had more of a political bent, and Power Lines was more a little bit more silly. I enjoy silly, but I also like I think punk kind of should exist to kind of open people's eyes to an alternative kind of world. So I prefer that sort of stuff. Originally, what we were doing was my guitarist Pablo, since he started the band, since he had the idea of the band, he kind of told me, I want lyrics kind of like Spaz. I want silly lyrics about Ninja Turtles and Star Wars and Chewbacca and whatever. And I was cool with it, but at the same time, but at the same time, I still had that political bent, so I wrote it in a way where you could sing along and not have to think about what it meant. But if you wanted to think about it, you could. Like what is that feeling story is about? You know, body image issues. Turtle Power is about, you know, being vegan and straight edge. Jack Trippin is about, you know, friends and family that influence you, that you admire, people you admire in your daily life. And you can sing along to, you know, the stupid lyrics, or you can kind of read into it and you know, hopefully get something out of it. You know, so.
And so, what's some of the bands you guys have shared the stage with?
We played with all types of different bands. We don't like Infest. Yes, Infest. I'm listening to Infest for half my life. Never thought I'd see them. And I get to actually play the first reunion. It was amazing. But over the years, like, the most meaningful stuff to me is like our friends. Like, you know, we played with Arm, we played with Mass Jazz, we're on tour right now with Sleepwalkers and Nomads. I think that's more meaningful, just because that's how you create a scene with your friends.
Does it really, like, how much do you guys care about who listens to the music and what they think about it? Like, you were talking about this earlier. But
Who's listening to us?
yeah.
One more time? I mean, I don't know. When you start a punk band, you don't think about purity. You think about, like, I want to do this with my want to, make the music that I like, that I can relate to, scream about things that piss me off. So if there's 10 people at a show, awesome. If there's 5 people, awesome. If there's 500 people, even better, great, because that means maybe we can get some of them to kind of understand why we're pissed off. If you can get somebody to understand why you're pissed off, maybe they'll start questioning whether or not the things they're doing are right. And that's the idea, again, punk being that exchange of ideas. We're lucky that we've been able to play to large groups of people, small groups of people, and even better, make friends with a lot of those people. So as long as we can play to 1,000 people. If they don't want to listen, it's pointless. So as long as they actually listen, I don't care how many people they play to.
So what are some of your favorite things about being on tour?
The inside jokes.
Just say food.
New vegan food in new places, people feeding you, inside jokes,
New friends.
Just being absolutely done and feeling okay about it, not having people judge you because you're with your buddies. And fuck these guys. And I don't know, and seeing new bands, meeting new people that you because of distance you're not gonna meet, but you've maybe been talking to for a while on the internet because they message you and say, hey, I really like your band. And, that's kind of how tour happened. We said we want to go to places we haven't been. Who can help us out? We just posted it online. And
I remember I saw that when you guys posted it up.
Yeah, and people were like, oh, we'll help you out. Cool. Hell yeah, and there's no I don't know, there's no worry about are these people cool? Are these people this or that? You just get a vibe that it's alright, they're into the music, that's all they care about. So I like that.
So do you have any messages for the listeners that are watching this thing like that or
Do what you want, don't be an asshole. That's it. Do what you want, live your own life. That's what you should be doing in the first place. Don't let anybody tell you how to live your life. Be a positive person. Realize that you're not the only person on earth. If you can make a difference to other people, if you can make a difference to other living beings, whether they're human or animal, whatever the hell, do it. Don't be judgmental. Don't push people down. Don't try to take away other people's rights. Have fun. Go to shows, crowd surf, participate. I understand that we're all involved in this because we're angry at things, but we're all angry at the same stuff. Stop fighting with each other. Just appreciate what you have. Create new scenes, create new bands, make a zine, have a venue, book shows. In general, be a good person.